Sea of Thieves has finally dropped its anchor in PS5 waters, bringing with it years of content updates, quality of life improvements, and some of the best looking water in a video game. But is this now former Xbox exclusive still worth playing 6 years after its initial launch, and how friendly is it to PlayStation newcomers like us? Well, after taking to the high seas with a ragtag crew on PS5, Sea of Thieves proves itself to be one of the most approachable live service games in the market, and one that I cannot wait to see grow on PlayStation. Hello there everyone, it's Aaron here from Push Square, and let's check out my PS5 review of Sea of Thieves. I have always quietly liked the look of Sea of Thieves. From its vibrant art style to its memeable viral clips from across the years. It always just looked like a fun time with friends. Thankfully then, mere hours into my time with the game, it's clear that Sea of Thieves is exactly the kind of experience that I'd hoped for, and also so much more. This open seas online adventure tasks you and a crew of up to 3 friends to conquer navigation, storms, and naval combat while stuffing your ship full of treasures and selling it for a profit. That's about as deep as the basic gameplay loop of Sea of Thieves gets, but it's also what makes it so damn enjoyable. Developer Rare has cooked up one of the most accessible live service games that I have ever played. This isn't an experience that's all too concerned with leveling up or figuring out builds, instead focusing on crafting fun and action-packed adventures for you and your crew. Carrying out treasure hunts and bounties, you'll rank up one of the game's 3 factions, which subsequently unlock more rewarding missions. However, the real reward of your exploits are purely cosmetic, which changes the fundamental structure of an evolving game like this. Leveling up, in this case, is actually about gaining the knowledge and tactics to play the game more effectively. It means that us lesser experienced PlayStation players are able to join the Xbox veterans without really having to play catch up. Sure, there are things to learn and meta aspects to uncover, but there'll never be a level disparity between you and your team. Having fallen behind with my friends on games like Destiny 2 and Diablo 4 in the past, it is incredibly refreshing to find a live service game that allows me to just play it at my own pace. Your friend could sink 50 hours into the game between your last session with them, and you'd still be able to play everything with them. There's never going to be too high leveled a mission for you to take part in. So once you've become acquainted with the game, what's the moment-to-moment gameplay actually like? Perhaps unsurprisingly, navigation is a massive pillar of the Sea of Thieves experience. Whether you're sailing a sloop, brigantine, or galleon, you need to work together with your crew to even make it to your destination. Navigating with the lower deck map, angling the sails to catch the wind, steering at the helm, and even spotting dangers from the crow's nest are all roles that need filling. It's a process that ensures that you're engaged with the experience and you're engaged with your crew. Without any map markers, you need to pay attention to the world and in-game navigation options, making the immersion of traversing the seas worth checking out alone. Navigating your ship is just the start of your troubles, however, as the expansive seas are filled with other players. And that is where things get really interesting. Player-operated ships aren't noted by gamer tags unless spotted in the spyglass, leading to some paranoid peeping from the crow's nest as you scan the horizon for dangers. The setting is so vast that you'll be questioning the intent of distant ships based purely on sail positioning and movement. Realizing that a larger ship is on your tail is an exhilarating experience that thrusts you and your crew into overdrive. The perpetual game of cat and mouse is endlessly fun as you load up cannons, prepare for anchor whipping turns, and change your tactics at a moment's notice. Even combat itself is a team effort, as someone still needs to steer the ship, someone needs to fire the cannons at the enemy ship, and then someone needs to repair the holes in the lower deck whilst also scooping out buckets of water. There is a chaotic flexibility to the combat, which means that backing out is just as much an option as firing a crew member via cannon onto the enemy ship to drop their anchor is. Whenever me and my team managed to sink an enemy ship, even if it meant the end of our own, there's this euphoric sense of victory, like you've outsmarted an enemy in a game of watery chess. Combat becomes all the more nail-biting when you actually have a ship full of loot. Sailing to one of the game's many islands, you'll dig up forgotten chests or claim the skulls of skeletal enemies in various bounties. It's up to you how much you stock up on chests and skulls before eventually returning to port to cash it all in. It crafts up a brilliant risk and reward gameplay loop, which leaves you anxiously scanning the horizon as you make your way to the nearest outpost, which often results in some exhilarating chases. Now, if I had to pick out one issue with the game, it would have to be the sword and gun combat, which is incredibly plain. While in one sense it slots into the Sea of Thieves experience perfectly, on the other, landlocked battles require next to none of the tact or team coordination found in naval combat. It's not something that ever ruined our experience with the game, but it certainly lacked that oomph. Regardless of whether you're fighting or exploring, Sea of Thieves is a wonder to exist in. It sports this ageless art style with a gorgeously vibrant colour palette, and as I mentioned, some of the best looking water in a video game ever. Quite often our crew would gawk at the stunning sunsets whilst playing sea shanties to each other on our various instruments. It's all helped as well by the game's buttery smooth 60 frames per second performance. The whole visual presentation brilliantly captures a sense of place whilst further establishing that feeling of adventure. Sea of Thieves is a blast when playing with friends. With its focus on cosmetic customization, I slipped into the pirate's life with ease, even after 6 years of updates and seasonal changes. Its natural and immersive approach to navigation make its seafaring sandbox well worth visiting, and a focus on cosmetics over high-tier loot make it a game that you can play at your own pace. It's a delight to steadily come to grips with the mechanics of the game too, whether that be how to outmaneuver enemy ships or how to sell your loot with quickened efficiency. It might not have the same level of grind that a lot of players look for in live service games, but there's endless pirate fun to be had here, and I'm quite glad that us PlayStation players finally have the opportunity to join in on the swashbuckling chaos. Thank you everyone for checking out my review of Sea of Thieves. Let me know down in the comments below whether you'll be checking out this game for the first time, maybe you're returning to the game from Xbox. Let me know down in the comments, and while you're there, maybe leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Even better, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more PlayStation video content just like this. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and until next time, I've been Aaron, and this has been Push Square.